I don't think I'm spoiling anything by saying the great one this time around is the black bear, and in this video we're gonna go over how I hunt the black bear, and I have chosen to do it on Silver Ridge Peaks. Whenever you're about to start your grade 1 grind for the black bear, there is a few things that you need to take into consideration. Where on the 3 possible maps that you have the opportunity to do so are you gonna be going in on it? I have chosen Silver Ridge Peaks because I do really enjoy playing this map, and it has a really, well, it has a decent drink zone time for the black bear. They're drinking from 15 till 20 in game, where on Layton they're drinking from 20 till midnight, which means you're basically gonna be night hunting. They might actually have other drink time zones as well on Layton, I'm not 100% sure, but most of the screenshots and such I've seen so far says 20 till midnight. There is also the option you could go on Mississippi, but who in their right mind would do that? So let's focus on why I chose Silver Ridge Peaks. There is a few different reasons. First of all, as I already mentioned, it is a nice map to play. And secondly, you're never gonna get surprised by the drink zones. It isn't like there is a huge river somewhere where the black bear is gonna be hiding and drinking, which you wouldn't have expected them to. It is all these watering holes you see. There is lakes and that's it. No big rivers, so it makes it pretty easy to try to find them. However, the one thing you are gonna be dealing with on Silver Ridge is the damn mountain lions. For some reason, the black bear is super scared of the mountain lion, so if there is a mountain lion in the area of the drink zone, they will be running around and running away from the zone. The thing is, the mountain lion has another drink time, which is smack down in the middle of the black bear drinking time. So you'll see the mountain lion coming in and drinking around 17:30 till 18:30, which at that point is just gonna scare off all of the black bears that is hanging out in that area. Another good thing about Silver Ridge Peaks is the amount of other animals that you'll have spread out all over the map. As I'm doing right now, I'm basically running around and clearing my hunting pressure. This is super easy to do in Silver Ridge Peaks as well, and another big thing why I think you should do your black bear hunting on SRP. We have a whole bunch of pronghorns over here and we just need to hit them. Hopefully they're gonna go down, and we're gonna have all of our black bear hotspots completely cleared from hunting pressure. Ah, that was a miss. Might as well bring out the 300 as well. And this is probably gonna take me like 5 minutes in total to get all of my hunting pressure cleared off of my, yeah, we have a little bit there and a little bit there. Now, we're good to go on a complete tour of me hunting the black bears. And this is how my map currently looks. The only tent that I don't really use in my grind for the black bear is this one, and then I have this one over here. I do check that once in a while. These two down here I never fast travel to. Everything else is something that I've set up in the pursuit of making it easier for me to grind for the grade 1. You want to be starting on the northern side of the map, north and northwestern kind of thing, because in that area you are gonna be sharing the drink zones between the mountain lion and the black bear. You want to hit those zones before the mountain lion drink zone becomes active, because else you're gonna have a ton of your bears scattered around all over the place. I am using a lot of tripods as well to reduce the hunting pressure that I am creating, and most of them I have set up, and I'll shoot any black bear I see. It is money. They seem to be individually tied to the need zones. It's not like they're tied to a group as many of the other herd animals, but if you go and pick up a drinking zone from a black bear, it will always says it's just one in that zone, even though you might have 15 bears standing next to each other. So don't be too worried about taking females out as well. At least that is my experience so far. And we're just arriving down to our tripod setup right here at the 2 fawns. And this, you very often will find them hanging out over here. Most of the time they are going to run in the direction of those over there, so you'll see at least what you're dealing with. But this tripod is set up so I can spot the area over here. And already now you see we have some Puma problems going around. This drink zone over here has been one of my very best in total so far. We have had a lot of big bears coming out of this one. It is the one located opposite here. You can also go from the other side and approach it from up there. Actually, I got a very, very impressive diamond. Not a black bear, but something else that I'll have coming up in a video very soon. from this very zone over here. And once I'm done in the two fawns area, I go down to this tent down here, where you also will have the overlapping drink zones of the mountain lion and black bear. The closer you can get to getting to all of your zones around, like, let's say 4:45, 5 p.m, the bigger the chances is that you're gonna find a lot of black bear in that area. So try to figure out what zones are best for you, and then kind of align them up so you at least get to check them when there should be most possible bears in there. I'm right now just running through them in a quick manner so you know where I'm going from and how it's working for me. Over here we'll have them on this side of the map. There can be some down here. Those down here don't usually spawn in if I fast travel to my tent though. But this is a zone that I check a lot as well. I've had quite a few mythicals coming out of this area. But as I said, it is going to be one of the ones where you're going to be battling the pumas. Then we have this one down here, just southeast of where we're now. If you have your tents too close to the need zones, it's not always that the bears will actually spawn in. So sometimes you'll have to get out and move them around a little. Another male over there. This one typically has 3 to 4 bears whenever you come around after the need zone has been active for a while. I have not dealt with too many issues about the pumas, but they're in the area, I'm pretty sure. The lake just south of us here does also contain black bears, but I haven't found a good way to approach it and try to get a setup down there. Now we need to go to the other side. I've never found bears at these 3s in Settler's End, so I just skip directly to this one in Climber Outpost, and then we go from there and spot the edges where you're also gonna be having the puma issue. If you really want to, you can of course be carrying your distressed fawn caller around as well and have that help you out with calling in the black bears. You're gonna find them hanging out in the reeds more often than not, and they can actually be kind of hard to spot. So whenever you take a shot at a black bear, there is a pretty good chance you'll see a whole family of black bears just standing up and looking and saying, what the hell's going on here? Just like that. But this one as well, you're gonna be having the mountain lion issue, so it is one of the quick ones to check. This zone right here used to be my favorite black bear zone in the game before they changed the drinking times and such around. You will still find them down here, but nowhere near in the same numbers as we were used to seeing them before. And as I said, guys, the reason we're not seeing as many black bears right now is simply because it's a little too early and they haven't migrated to their zones fully yet. So if you do this and let them at least settle in, I'm pretty rushed, so I'm gonna have to just record this as it is right now. You're just gonna have to trust me. But you will find a lot of bears, and in general it is a pretty easy hunt to do whenever you have got everything set up. Oh, we have a... is that sub bear and not a drop bear? I don't know. He made it back up to land. Again, you will be able to see them up here. The higher level the animal is, the easier you're going to be spooking them. So if you have anything big in there, if you're running all the way down here like I am, then there is a good chance you will already have spooked whatever it is. But you usually will see the tail end of them run away over here in that area. I decided to take a quick tour up here just to show you guys that there is actually bears in the area. And this is not even very many of them. Usually I take them all down and then just hope for new spawns coming in. But we are getting so close to the puma drink zone, so I cannot be asked doing that right now. And now we're finally getting into the area where we're not gonna have to deal with the pumas being annoying. Now it's just gonna be a mix of bison and bear, and you're gonna find some elk in the eating zone as well around. Down here, you'll just run the entire lake this way around. Be aware, if you spawn in at the lodge as I do, anything that is having a drink zone in this very area right here, which is actually quite a few bears at times, they will not spawn in as you're approaching this. So when you get to the other end of the lake, turn around and have a look behind here. Once you're done with this lake, you go down past this outpost, and I have some tripod set up down here, which I then can look to this area. Basically, I can see the entire lake from that area, and you'll find quite a few bears in this as well. Once again, be mindful of all the reeds, so either you need to be lucky to spot them, or you need to be as far away so the reeds don't render in while you're trying to spot what's going on. So when you're on the other side like here, you take a look back, There is no bears this time, but we have an entire herd of pronghorn who has magically just appeared because they actually didn't render in when we spawned at the outpost. I also just realized all of my tripods actually don't show up on the map, so it does make it a little harder, but at least as long as you know where to go, you'll very quickly try to find out a way that you will distribute your tripods and such, so it makes sense in terms of optimizing your grind. Down here, again, that's a bison. You're going to be spotting the reeds. Go down to the water's edge and you'll be looking at this side, which for some reason don't have any bears right now. Usually does though. And then over here seems to be a pretty decent spot for bears as well. Obviously, when we're making videos, we never see the animals we're actually looking for. Just make sure that you're within the render of the other bank, which mostly requires you to go all the way down to the water. And then you make a quick scan around and see if there is anything worth going for over there. This tent right here in between these two lakes is placed exactly so whatever is on that side is going to be spawning in. Right there we have a few bears having a little bit of a drink. That one would usually have to go down. You can find them on this side as well, but again, as we are a little too close, then we're not going to see them until we start running off, if there should be any. So just be mindful, look behind you, what's going on, and then once you've gone and taken whatever is over there, you run up here and take a look at this lake. And as we are approaching this now, it is getting a little darker, which I have just decided that, let's go. I am bringing these ones as well. Not that I'm gonna have much use out of them just yet, but it is always nice to have, because sometimes you end up chasing around bears for a little longer than, well, you kind of initially thought you would. And as I said, they do drink until like 2030, so you do have plenty of time trying to see what is going on. This, there it is. This area as well, they do have drink zones down here, and as you see, whenever I come up here, I spook them. They run this way and try to make it all the way around and run up a hill over on that side. And another little tip that I like to do whenever I am in places like this is simply take out my 22 Virant, take a few shots randomly around, and see if we're gonna have any bear heads poking up anywhere. Usually you don't spook them, but they will go attentive and you'll have an idea of what is in the area. Can be very useful. These lakes down here don't give very many results, but you will find bears in the area. This lake is the one that back in the days had the clue for Mississippi with the hissing gator. They have removed that, so you don't have to listen to that every time you spawn in. But as I said, it's a little bit of hit and a miss with these two lakes if it's worth going to. I found a single bear down here as well, but definitely not worth running all the way down to check out every single time. This lake up here can be quite interesting whenever you do spawn in. With this lake, again, we're suppressing some of the zones by having the tent this close, but the reason we do this is because we run the entire round around the lake here anyway. So it does take quite a long time to get all the way around. This over here, usually, I think there is actually reeds there, but they might just not be spawning in because we're on the edge of something. It might also just be completely BS what I'm telling you. You will see bears down. I know that I have some bears down here somewhere as well. There they are. And this is what I mean by hiding in the reeds. Can be a little tricky to spot. You can do the zoom in and out, and it sometimes will help you. If that doesn't work, bring out your 22. Make sure they're calm when they're drinking, shoot in the area, and you'll have them at least peek up once, and, well, at least now you know that there is something over there worth looking at. There you go. And once you've taken whatever you can see from this side, you run all the way around, and then you're going to be spotting in the area down there, where we also have a bear standing around, and over here, I usually have one or two hiding as well, and sometimes you'll find them basically right where we're at as well right now. This one down here is another one of those a little hit and a miss. Sometimes you'll find quite a few bears, other times you won't, but always worth at least going down and seeing. They'll be hanging out on that side and over here in the trees. Not too many of them over there. And obviously you'll be like, let's go to some of the really good places, right? If we are to take at what is my top 3 of good places to go for them, It's actually this one up here, which I have shown already 2 times in this video. This lake down here is extremely good, and then you have this lake over here, which is also pretty decent. So let's go to this one first, run up and take a look. We have a tripod at the south end of the lake, and as soon as we get to that one, we should see a ton of bears. Here I would advise you to start walking before you get out of the woods, because there is, if you have any of the high level ones, they are going to be very aware that you're coming in already before you're all the way out here. Again, if you have a cola, you could give it a little squeak around here, see any of the ones in the bushes move around. I'm not really going to be doing that because, well, in general, I'm just not patient enough. But let's run all the way down here, and we should probably spook them, just so you have an idea. There is people, or not people, there is bears hiding in the reeds as well. Quite a few, nothing too massive right now. It is like it always is when we're making these kind of video. But take them out, get the respawns, and move on to the next one, which is up here. This one up here, not as good as the one we just were at, but it is a good place as well. And as we approach from this outpost down here, you will have a drink zone active at this side of the lake, so you can see the bears running both to the one and the other side of the lake. Just again, look around, see what's going on in your surroundings. Usually when I get to these spots, it's a little later in the day. I tend to reset around 1900, because whenever you hit 1900, any tracks disappears if you're not using your flashlight, and honestly, I just can't be asked with that. Then I'd much rather just do it again, run a few more laps around. The only issue is that whenever you reset, the bears do have a tendency to take quite a good time until they're actually reaching their zones. There she is, also just a female. And this is basically everything that I do trying to get my grade 1 bear. I have said quite a few times on my live streams over on Twitch that I'm not sure I'm gonna stick to grinding the bear too religiously, simply because for me, you need to hit the jackpot with the bear. I personally don't care very much for a diamond bear of any sort of these. I have a lot of the cinnamon ones and such from when they weren't rare. Oh, there was one over there hiding in the... Yep, just another small one. But if you don't care about the diamonds and you're only in it for the grade 1, then at some point it gets pretty trivial to just run around and shoot the same animal over and over and over, because they all look the same. So if you're not hitting the jackpot and getting one of the fabled ones, you're never going to see a difference in what you're shooting. There is no melanistic, there is no albino, which is going to sparkle and sprinkle the grind up to a level where it is going to get a lot more tolerable, because I remember that with the red deer and the whitetail, that what kept me going for so long was seeing the massive diamonds with the different antler shapes, or massive rares, or just the small funky ones, but you don't get that satisfaction hunting the bear grade 1. So if you are going to do this, keep in mind that you need to at least have your mindset around, I need to hit the jackpot, else I basically have nothing to show for this other than a heck of a lot of money, and my diamond count is going to get inflated. How do I feel about the grade 1 bear in general is a question that I've gotten quite often as well. And honestly, at very first, I was a little disappointed because I had hope for moves like a lot of other people. I do like what they have done with them. I just hope they would have made them a little more. We've seen a glacier one as well now. It's not that different to what we have got going on with the current bears in the game. But on the other hand, had they done the same for lions, I would have been ecstatic if we had a melanistic lion as one of the 5 fur variations, or 4, I don't even know how many there is right now, been confirmed. I would have been ecstatic if we had a melanistic lion, maybe some of the other colors as well. Would have been super awesome for lions. I don't know why it doesn't trigger me as much with the bears. I think it's just because I don't have the same relation to the bears as I did with my lions, which I grinded for so long for the albino, where you, as I've just mentioned, you won't find the albino black bear. So this is what I do. I hope this was to some sort of help for you. I will put a map right here where I will highlight all of the very hot zones for me and all of the ones that I check anyway, because you need to run around and have time be a thing, right? So optimize it to however you like to hunt them. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so very much for watching.